What's up, 31 fam? How you doing? Welcome back to Horror 31 with your punk rock dad. Back with Steven again. What's up, Steven?
What's going on, man?
Same old shit, different.
Long time no see.
Yeah, dude, been like 5 minutes or so. No, dude, we did another video earlier with talking about The Howling, and this video is going to be, we did 2 movies this time on our little series we're doing here, and we watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, a bona fide horror classic, if you will. So, I mean, you know, yeah. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, like, I legitimately love this movie, right? But it came out, dude, I don't even know, man. What's Texas Chainsaw?
80.
Well, it came out in 86, and it was directed by Tobe Hooper, who did the first one.
Sure.
I think the first one was in 79. It was
no, I think it
was it older than that?
No, I think it was real time, like 13 years, right?
I'm about to find out.
Because remember the beginning of the movie, it said 13 years later or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's real time. I think it was 73.
Was it that old? It might be. My memory is absolutely terrible.
I've never seen it. I had to read about it.
It was 74. It was 74.
Okay, so yeah, so it was 13 years later. That's real time.
So it's weird because Tobe Hooper wanted to do it, and the cast is really good.
Oh God.
It's got Bill Moseley, it's got Dennis Hopper, and it's got what's her name? I think
Stretch.
Carolyn Williams. I think that's her name. I think that's her name. My memory's terrible. Y'all know this by now.
Wasn't she in Sharknado?
Oh God, I hope so. I don't know. I've seen the first 2 of those and I love them.
Yeah, I think she was in number 4.
Like, those movies are the kind of movies that are like really bad, but it's bad on purpose, and it's good that it's that bad on purpose.
Like this one?
They're like, no, this movie's amazing, sir. Watch your mouth.
Oh. I mean, I fucking loved it too, but not because it was a great, flawless, technically great film.
Well, it is though. No.
Okay.
No, so it's okay. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, it starts off 13 years after the first one, and there's a sheriff played by Dennis Hopper who's like searching these folks down, trying to catch them. And there's a radio DJ. Is her name Stretch or Tex? Stretch, right? Stretch, yeah. And she's like this husky voiced brunette. In the movie, I thought she was stunning. I agree. That's right up my alley. But the family is back to their ways, man. They're out there trying to catch some folks and kill them. It's a murder movie, man. There's not really any plot to the movie, to be honest. So basically, she's on the phone. She's a radio DJ. She's on the phone with some kids in a car. They're talking shit, acting stupid, and they catch up with these kids in a car, and we
got to talk about the kids, though. You can't brush over those kids. Like, those guys were like just perfect 80s assholes. I mean, they're driving a Mercedes. Yeah, the Mercedes has a license plate that says "fuck you." That's amazing.
Well, hold on. Let's give the quick synopsis about the movie, then we'll go.
Okay.
So basically, what happens is she's a radio DJ. She's on the radio with these kids live on the air. They get killed live on the air. So that's the only evidence to the murder that they have is that taping. That's why they're after her. So without that, none of this movie would make any sense. That one recording is why this whole movie works.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, right? Sort of, because it's got a different color palette. There's different lighting. There's much more. And the first movie is honestly, out of all the classics, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw is the one that holds up the best. It's still scary. It's still good. The remake was great, but they didn't need to remake it. I did like it, but they didn't need to do it. This movie is like a 180-degree shift. It's like I don't understand. I do understand it. They did it on purpose. Tobe Hooper did this intentionally, which is why it's actually good, because he knew he was doing this. Anyways, let's talk about these kids that get killed in the beginning of the movie.
Well, real quick, I just wanted to give your audience a little context here. I have never seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1. I haven't seen it. I had to read about it because I didn't have time. I did read
3-4 weeks ago, mind you.
I did read about the fact that it was considered possibly the most important horror film of all time. I don't know if that's something that you agree with or not, but apparently that's in the discussion.
Important and favorite are very different words, so I wouldn't necessarily say that is wrong necessarily. I haven't thought about that though. Who said that? Was that in some kind of? Was that a?
I was just reading the synopsis and some plot breakdowns, and I started reading about the director and about because I wanted to know if Dennis Hopper and Hooper were related because I didn't know.
That's amazing.
So then I and then I read it that it said that widely considered one of the most important horror films of all time.
Okay, so one of the and the are very different. So
I think it did say the.
Okay, and I'm only asking because I want to make sure that I say the right thing, because one of the, absolutely, it's one of the probably top 5 most important horror movies of all time. I'd say Psycho, Texas Chainsaw, Halloween. I'm not even going to go after that. The top 3 are probably those most important. Exorcist.
Sure, there you go. Exorcist for sure.
Yeah.
And then Scream.
Honestly, probably, yeah.
I mean, as far as usher in the modern.
Yeah, Scream brought horror back into the modern age.
I agree.
So yeah, that's probably it right there. So yeah, it's definitely one of the, and I think as far as the most important, I think that's just a very subjective conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would put that up there as probably my most important one because I think it holds up better than all the others. I think that The Exorcist holds up pretty well. I just don't like the movie very much, but it holds up. Halloween I like a lot, but I don't think it holds up. Friday the 13th I think is trash. Nightmare on Elm Street I think is good, but I think it's got some. It suffers from age, so I would say it's definitely up in the top 2 or 3 for sure, man. It's a fantastic movie, man. I can't wait for you to watch it. I want to know what you think about it because it's one of the few movies that I won't ask Crystal to watch. Put it that way. And it's made it's made in the early 70s, bro. That's how good that movie is.
So to me,
it would fuck her up. She'd have nightmares.
One quick question, and then I have one statement.
Okay.
What was Hopper's connection? He was related to some of the victims in the first one, right?
I think so. I can't remember.
Yeah, because remember the scene where he walks up
when he was in his car talking. I think that's what he was saying. Is that one of his cousins or some brother or some shit got killed?
Well, remember the scene where he walked up and the dude's in the wheelchair, and he's like, "Oh my god, that's because there was the wheelchair guy in the first one, right?"
Yeah.
That's who he's related to. Because when he saw the skeleton in a wheelchair, he got like teary-eyed and emotional.
Okay, because the guy in the wheelchair in the first movie got picked up by the hitchhiker, but he got picked up by the van, and he wasn't somebody that was with
them originally.
No, I think I'm mixing up the characters. God damn it, Steven.
Well, anyway, I think Hopper was related to one of the victims. Obviously, I think that.
No, I'm almost positive that's the case.
Right, and this is a revenge story on his part, obviously.
Correct. Yeah.
So, to me, and I've seen House of a Thousand Corpses and I've seen The Devil's Rejects, and from reading the synopsis of the first one and from getting the feel of the family on this one, whether it's reflective of the first one or not, I mean, obviously Leatherface is a different character in this one. They went that weird direction where he was a little more sensitive or horny, if you would. I don't know.
It was weird, wasn't it?
It was very weird, and that's without ever seeing Leatherface in the first one,
dude. The first one has such a better mask, dude. This one and the second one look like a piece of fucking rubber.
Yeah, well, they just kept focusing on him licking his fucking one tooth and shit. So that was, but to me, how is House of Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects not just a basic ripoff of these movies? I don't understand that.
Oh, it is.
Okay, so that's a known thing.
I don't know if it's popular opinion or not, but I would say that it absolutely is.
I mean, a family of cannibals that live out in the middle of nowhere.
It's the same fucking movie, dude.
I mean, and then even Devil's Rejects, where you've got this sheriff getting revenge. I mean, it's like a fucking mirror of the two movies.
We're on the same page, you and I. I have never thought about it I've never thought about it's not the right words. I've thought about it. I've never discussed it with people though. I would imagine that's probably widely considered true.
Yeah, and I've never heard that obviously, and I just don't know how.
I'm about to make some Instagram posts later tonight asking questions about that and see if I can get some people to talk about it.
Yeah, maybe somebody more educated in this was like, no, it's totally different. But to me, honestly, it sounds
I would like to know where they think that is different, because you're absolutely correct. I love all 4 of these movies. All right. I don't like Rob Zombie movies after The Devil's Rejects. That's the only 2 I like, was House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. But, and I haven't thought about it in a while, but yes, it is. And not only that, but Bill Moseley's in all of them.
That's true. That is true. I forgot it.
I can't remember. But he's in 3 of the 4.
Yeah, to me, the whole time I was watching it, because those are 2 horror movies, And the reason I brought it up too is when you said about Kristen not watching the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre. When I watched House of a Thousand Corpses when I was in high school, I definitely got kind of sick.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't used to that kind of movie. I just it was too real. It wasn't like a werewolf. It wasn't some bullshit.
That's
it was just
why the
crazy
Texas Chainsaw Massacre still holds up.
Yeah, it's just some
More
crazy
realistic than
family
all the
that
others.
lives off the grid that just likes to torture and eat people. That's really not that crazy of a concept if you think about it.
No, it's really not.
I
There's
mean,
definitely people like that in Texas, for sure.
yeah, and there's definitely the whole colonies of them in West Virginia in the mountains. I mean, that they've made documentaries on them. So it's like,
I mean, we've all seen Wrong Turn. That's a real movie. That's a documentary in itself.
that's true.
So,
So
dude, the parallels of those two movies. Now I got to do a video of comparing them, man. That's a good idea. That's a good video. That's a good.
yeah,
video.
I could be completely wrong.
No, dude, you're not wrong.
missing it, but that's the first thing I thought.
I would like to. I'm gonna find out if there's anybody asking Rob Zombie in an interview his.
I mean, they
opinion.
have to be. That's the part that makes me think that I'm wrong, is that I've actually never heard anybody bring that up. And I was like, how does Rob Zombie explain the obvious parallels? That's my question.
He probably can't. And I wouldn't even go as far as to say that I don't think that it was necessarily a conscious decision that he made.
Oh, come on. I mean, even the Devil's Rejects is to me is the dead giveaway part of it. It's this revenge story where the good guy almost wins in Devil's Rejects, right? I mean, the sheriff does end up dying, but he does take out most of the three people, right? But I know that it was a more positive note ending than House of a Thousand Corpses. That's for sure.
So here's the oh yeah, for sure. Here's the thing. If you asked me to write a movie, I guarantee you I could do it without any reading of anything. I could just write a movie, right? But
Okay.
I also guarantee you that if you wanted to, you could sit down and look at that movie and go, "Hey, man, this sure sounds like something."
But Randall, there's a difference between being influenced by 10 of your favorite movies throughout your childhood. It's a completely
Do you
different
think
thing.
it was a conscious decision that he made to make the movies that resembled the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
All I'm saying is that he could have had an idea and he verbalized it to somebody and they said, yeah, that was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? And then he was like, fuck, you're right, it is pretty much that. All right, whatever, let's do it anyway. Like, there's no way.
Okay, now that's more plausible. That makes
there's
more
no way during the entire creative process that somebody didn't bring that up.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Chose to shrug it off and be like, oh well, it is what it is. This is what we're doing.
I mean, if you've already put a couple $1 million into it, would you change it?
Or even if it's a passion project that's been in your head for 5 years and you're like, nobody's going to stop me from doing this. I'm going to do it. And then the first person says, yeah, but that's that. You're like, well, you're right, but fuck it, I'm going for it.
I mean, you've got a lot of artists that make music sounding exactly like a song we heard 20 years ago, and they still do it, you know?
Yeah.
Rob Zombie is a big horror fan, and I would be surprised if he didn't see the parallels in these movies. If he said he didn't, I probably wouldn't believe him. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
No, I'm not trying to shit on anything.
No.
My question was, how have I never? I mean, I'm not in the horror world, but how have I never heard of somebody saying, "Oh yeah, it's just kind of a ripoff of that"? Like, just that's the part that surprises me.
Well, I'll tell you this: I am in the horror world, and I've never really talked about that before.
So that's weird, though, right? Like, did you find that strange?
Now that you bring it to my I've thought about it, but only in passing. Like, I've never sat down and been like, "Huh." Blah, 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 blah. Because when you said it to me, I was like, oh, yeah, I thought about that before. But then as you started talking about it, I was like, yeah, but I've never really talked about it before because I haven't. So,
I mean, and even some of the makeup similarities of the one of the main guys and the army, the war vet character here. What's his name? I don't know.
Wait, Chop Top?
Yeah. Chop Top.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
He's so awesome. He was so much stronger in the first scene that he was in than he was the rest of the movie. That first scene he was in, when he's fucking lighting that hanger, scratching his scalp, which we don't know what the fuck he's doing at that time, and then picking off the scalp to eat it. Oh, that's fucking genius.
Bro,
that's
I was gagging when I saw that the first time. I was like, what is he doing?
Well, at first he did it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of gross. It's weird. I mean, I've literally growing up, I've seen people like pull out their hair and eat their hair follicles. I've seen that done. It's not a thing that's crazy. But then once I found out that it was the scabby part around his metal plate that he was picking at and eating, that's where I started gagging. Here's what I'm going to say, and then I'll shut up about it because the rest of the movie...
No, dude, this is awesome for me. I love doing this.
What I'm saying is this is the only negative thing that I really want to say about this movie is that all my life I've heard Leatherface, 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 right?
Okay.
And then I see this movie, and I don't get much of anything from this character. Clearly, Chop Top is a much better character in this movie. Hell, Bill Nye the Science Guy that shows up later on is a better character than Leatherface.
Well,
I don't know the character's name. That's why I call him Bill Nye the Science Guy.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
The guy with the boat, the cook, maybe? Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Well, dude, part of the issue is that you didn't watch the first movie. The first movie...
Is that the issue?
No, 100%. So out of all of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, the second one is widely considered the most not Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. That's why I wanted to watch it, because I thought you would see the first one.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that... I'm saying I fucking liked this movie a lot. I think this movie has a lot of merit. I just thought it was a strange choice to take the star of the movie, the person that has become legendary in the last 13 years, and make him this horny, sensitive killer. I thought that was a strange choice.
It was done
intentionally. You're saying
intentionally. It was tongue in cheek. It was like, ha ha ha! Look what we can do with this character, and it's
just why. You know what I mean? Why?
Because I'm gonna get so many people pissed off at me by talking about this movie because my memory is so fucking horrible, man. I should take better notes when I do this stuff.
Right.
Live and learn, man. Next time I'll do that better. But I think I said something earlier about oh shit, hold on one second. I don't think that's gonna matter, but I'm like looking something up to talk about this, and then something else hit me, and I'm like, fucking eBay.
Yeah,
you know how eBay is, dude. You remember you're bidding on something, you're like, no, I'm probably gonna lose this thing. Let's see. Yeah, I got outbid. Oh well, I don't care. It's a lot of money.
What were you looking up?
Hooper wanted to make this movie, and I think I misspoke. I think he didn't. Damn it, man. That's what I was gonna look up.
You're saying that he didn't want to make this movie and they just threw a bunch of money at it? Because you could tell from what I read, obviously the budget was 10 times the size.
Let's see.
But while you're looking it up, that I will say this, that I forgot how much I love Dennis Hopper until I saw this.
Dude, he's so rad. Yes, he's so badass. Okay, so did you see the movie poster for Texas Chainsaw 2?
I don't think so.
It's The Breakfast Club.
Okay.
The whole movie is supposed to be silly. It was never supposed to be serious.
No. Look, silly is one thing. To take your main franchise character now and completely turn it on his head, I don't know. That Chop Top was he in the first one?
No.
Oh, he wasn't.
No.
Okay. So all of Leatherface's family got killed in the first one?
I can't.
Not Grandpa. Obviously, Grandpa's
No.
Grandpa's still there.
I don't think so, man. Like, Leatherface obviously didn't, but in the first movie, there was only a couple of them. There was only a few people in that movie. There was
Grandpa.
Yeah, they don't really like unfold the whole family. Like, there's not like a whole table of people. It's not as big as the family in House of a Thousand Corpses, to my recollection. Admittedly, it's been a while since I've seen that movie, and we've been over my memory problems, which is why I need to start taking better notes when I do this stuff with you.
Yeah, but we wouldn't read them anyway. So
do what?
We wouldn't even read the notes anyway.
That is probably true, actually. Let's see here.
$140,000 was the budget for the first one.
Oh yeah, the first one was on a shoestring budget, man. Let's see. I can't remember if he didn't want to do it, and then they kind of made him. So I'm pretty sure he wanted to make the movie, but at the time, 13 years is a long time, man. You change as a person a lot in 13 years. I think he was just having fun with it, if I'm not mistaken. And it was, dude, I don't think that even in 1986, I don't think that he understood how the first movie was going to be in 30 more years.
Right. It hadn't had the impact and that we now can look back on it and see the importance of it.
Yeah, because horror was very new when the first one came out. And so by the time the second one came out, horror was still not a huge... Horror now is so much bigger than it's ever been.
So basically what you're trying to tell me is that I feel like he's taking a sacred, holy grail character and kind of shitting on him. But that's not the way Leatherface...
But it's my character. I can do what I want with it. Right. I wasn't trying to upset anybody. I just made what I wanted to make. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you do, you do. And I just don't know that he cares what we think.
I probably definitely not, since he's dead and I'm a nobody.
Well,
but
you know what I mean with the movie being made.
The thing about it is that I thought, despite the ratings that I saw online from multiple sources, I thought it was a way better movie than they're giving it credit for.
A lot of people shit on this movie.
I don't get it. I think the first half is a masterpiece.
The first half is easily the better half, by a pretty wide margin.
By a mile. When they get to that lady's scream that she does about 35 times when she's at the dinner table.
It's bad.
I don't understand it. At that point, you should be catatonic from the things that you've seen.
Yeah.
What are you screaming at? There's an old man in a wheelchair. That's what you're screaming at? Like, there's you saw your fucking coworker that had his face peeled off get up and free you. By the way, boss fucking move on that dude's part. Yeah, hell yeah, that was awesome.
There's a lot
of as bosses.
Like, there's also one called Texas Chainsaw, like The Next Generation or something. It's got Matthew McConaughey in it and Renee Zellweger, I believe.
Yeah.
People don't like that one either. I also like that movie. Dude, I like kind of crazy, shitty B movies, but like, I don't know, man. I think Texas Chainsaw 2 it's a diamond in the rough. It's more like a piece of coal instead of the diamond. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know how to explain what I'm thinking here. It's its own thing. And I think that Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, doesn't have Michael Myers in it. I've always thought they should have called it something.
That's so weird.
Well, okay, so Halloween 1, he didn't want to make a series. He wanted to make a series of, what do you call that? When you make
like an anthology, like you just
he wanted to make an anthology series that came out every year on Halloween.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a similar situation. If this movie wasn't called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it was kind of like a ripoff of it, or even if it was called like Texas Chainsaw 2
Electric Boogaloo.
Something, anything else. Like, it might have been like, oh yeah, this was happening at the same time as the other stuff. It's a different part. It's like their cousins were doing this stuff because their whole family's crazy. It might have made more sense, but the fact that it sticks out so like a sore thumb, and it does have Leatherface is in the movie. Had they taken him out of the movie, this movie would be remembered better.
I mean, I agree, and if they didn't spend so much time at the end just getting real fucking silly with things, I don't mind the fucking chainsaw sword fight. Like, obviously I don't mind that. I fucking love it. But like, I don't. There was a lot of like silliness that was happening on the family's part, and it really kind of like, you're like, okay, I get it. They're a bunch of goofy, crazy bastards. Like, let's move on. Let's get to the plot. And of course, they're following this woman who's terrified, and she just keeps screaming over again. I think that where the movie definitely does some injustice is like, you set up this Dennis Hopper character, which I fucking love. I can't describe how. Like, I want a T-shirt of him holding the chainsaw and then having the two chainsaws holstered at the same time. Like, I want that fucking shirt. First of all, he looks like a waiter at a Texas Roadhouse steakhouse.
He looks like a waiter at a Tex-Mex restaurant.
That sheriff outfit that he's wearing.
The tiny little jacket, bro. It looks so ridiculous.
Dude, he's got this stoic face, which is definitely a Dennis Hopper like staple. Like, his expressionless, and he's just on a mission. He goes to the fucking chainsaw store, and he just slaps down a bunch of cash and buys 3 chainsaws, and then he goes out and starts whacking this tree while like the owner of the place is like, yes, like jerking off to it,
like trying it out before he takes it home.
Yeah, and like the owner's loving what this guy's doing, instead of like, hey dude, you need to calm down. Like, no, the owner's like encouraging him to continue to go nuts. Fucking character, dude, was the shit. And I thought that it was a little bit of a shortcoming for them to get to this amusement park or whatever it was that they're at, and then just have him for 30 minutes sawing pillars down.
I know, it was very, very weird.
The final scene where somehow he can leap 30 feet down and land on his feet and then go to town. Like, I feel like if that would have happened 20 minutes earlier and the battle just takes place, this movie would be way up there in my rankings.
Yeah, it has a lot of shortcomings, but I think that it shines in so many places. The first half, we've established that the first half of this movie, I don't know, I think you're probably right. I think it is a masterpiece because the first half, I could watch it over and over and over again.
So good.
The ending of it's where I just get lost and I just don't care anymore. I can fall asleep after the first, let's say 2/3 of the movie. I could just pass out and not care and not ever rewatch the end of it and then just start it over from the beginning again.
Which is weird because if you think about the first movie, which I haven't seen, but from what I read, it seems like the second half is where shit gets ramped up.
Dude, the first movie is the polar opposite. The first third is kind of like, I'll take it or leave it, but after the second act starts, you're just like, you're in, dude, you're in.
And that's where the horrors start, right? In this movie, the second half, like, yes, like there was weird shit going on, but like it was just skeletons everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't.
You're right.
Like
that's funny. I never thought about that.
There wasn't much happening. It was just too silly. There was just some 3 or 4 silly family members just being goofy as fuck. A la almost what's the name of that fucking movie? That was a terrible movie. It had like Dan Aykroyd and like John. I don't know if John Candy. They go to this small town and the sheriff. Oh my god, what's it fucking called? And like there's all these giant baby looking characters and like there's a judge. Dude, it's like a classic horror, terrible dumpster fire.
Wait, it's a horror movie with Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah. It's called.
I gotta find this out.
He goes. It's like a small town, and the people get like a speeding ticket, and they go before the judge, and the judge like, it's like a house of horrors after that.
Nothing But Trouble?
Nothing But Trouble.
I've never even heard of this before.
Dude, for the next video, you're watching Nothing But Trouble.
100% I'll do that.
And then I'll watch, I guess, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1.
Dude, hey, let's set it up, bro. Let's do it in a few weeks.
You got to watch Nothing But Trouble.
No, I'm gonna buy this movie. This movie looks amazing. I'm gonna buy it right now.
It's a train wreck, dude. You're gonna love it. Dude, they're gonna re-release that in 4K, and I promise you.
Wait, are they really?
No, I'm saying that it's gonna say, 10 out of 10. Punk rock dad, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be your review on the cover because you're the only one in the history that's gonna give this fucking piece of shit a 10 out of 10.
I'm so excited right now. Oh man, you made me really want to watch this.
Dude, it's a train wreck. I wonder if it's streaming anywhere.
Yes, it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, dude.
I'm gonna get a VHS copy of this though.
Obviously. Because that's what you do. But dude, I don't know what movie. What does it say? What year it came out?
91.
Oh, okay, so way after this. To be honest with you, to be fair to Rob Zombie, I'm almost want to say that these people did the same exact thing. Saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Oh, really?
And just kind of like with that silliness and like the goofiness of a family that are just psychopaths. But yeah, dude, like there was no gore. After he cuts the home dude's face off and puts it on her and then puts a cowboy hat on her and starts dancing with her.
Yeah, bro.
After that scene, there's basically no more gore.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. Why they went with the lack of gore. Yeah.
Like you said, completely opposite of the first movie.
Yeah, it was very strange.
But the first half of this movie, if they would have ramped up and if they would have had a crazy ending of this movie with like to really like take it seriously, this movie would be an all-time classic for me. I love the first half.
The first half was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic.
They had what was the deal with that like puppet costume they were wearing?
I don't know.
The very beginning, Leatherface is wearing a costume, right? Like why? And then Chop Top,
when he's in the car,
when he was standing on the car, he's wearing like this costume.
I think they didn't want people to know who he was. I think he was disguising himself as a Leatherface is who he is.
Right.
I think that was like a disguise.
Yeah, it was weird. And then the second half of the movie, Chop Top's got it the whole time. The same like costume.
I genuinely don't know. Hey, this super random question. Have you ever heard of a movie called When the Bow Breaks?
No.
It's got Martin Sheen in it. Dude, I just stumbled upon this movie last night. It's based in Houston, and I you know
Really?
me, man. I'm H-Town, bro. Like,
yeah, you are H-Town.
So I found a VHS copy for a couple of dollars. I'm gonna snatch it up, but like, I don't know, man. I don't see very many movies based out of Houston, so it always surprises me. It also bow, like When the Bow Breaks. Is it bow or bow?
Bow.
It
it's
is.
bow.
Okay, I was wrong. Cool.
Yeah.
I go apologize to my wife.
You know how I was like pow pow? It's bow.
So I've always heard bow. That's interesting. So it's when the bow breaks.
When the bow breaks, the
I've heard when the
cradle.
bow breaks my whole life.
Really?
Uh-huh. But that's why I'm asking, because she told me it was bow and I didn't believe her.
Yeah, that's what my wife always says, encompassing.
Wait,
I'm
what?
like, encompassing instead of encompassing.
Whoa, that would fuck me up.
And she's like, but there's an O. I'm like, I understand. It's encompassing. She's like, no, it's encompassing. I'm like, no.
Man, I don't even know which one I would say, to be honest with you.
You would say the correct one, which is encompassing.
I probably would say encompassing.
I mean, if you say bow when the bow breaks, I don't know what the bow is, to be honest with you.
Part of a crib.
I that's a guess from context, but
No.
I can't confirm.
I can.
Okay.
Which is why I said that.
Okay. Sometimes you talk out of your ass. I don't know.
I don't know what I'm talking about either, bro. You know that. So, yeah, man, I really was. When I first watched Texas Chainsaw 2, I absolutely hated it. I hated it.
Really?
I didn't know it was supposed to be silly. I didn't understand that.
I didn't know that either, but I fucking enjoyed it.
No, but you know me, and when I tell you to watch a movie, you
that's
can't
a good
go.
Point.
You know, it's not like I'm telling you to go watch The Lighthouse or Parasite.
Ugh. Neither one of those movies interests me. I'm sorry. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but still.
It's your opinion. I don't care.
Yeah.
They're both amazing movies to me.
Really? Everybody loves Parasite. I don't get it.
Parasite is the best movie of the past 5 years.
It's crazy. Sure. You're clearly not the only one that thinks that. It won an Academy Award for Best Picture, so you're obviously not alone. I don't get it.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I don't get it.
You don't get it?
No, I don't get it.
Wow. That's the most, I think, out of all the movies I've ever seen in my whole life, that's as close to perfect as I've seen. Besides,
I don't get it. I don't know what I'm supposed to. I don't care about. I don't know what's happening. I thought it was supposed to be like some kind of a horror movie, and it wasn't. Yeah. See. Clearly, I don't understand horror, and I'm not saying that to be an asshole.
We'll talk about that movie at a later date, because that one is taking me a long time to understand why it's a horror movie, because I didn't get that part of it at all until like recently. But I've read about it enough and talked about it enough to where now I understand where it becomes a horror movie, and I'm like, oh, I get it. At first, I thought it was very good drama, but
I'm not the kind of person that watches a movie and then has to like go read a bunch of articles to tell me why I should like it. I'm just not that kind of person.
No. You're misunderstanding it, dude. The moment I watched it, I thought it was perfection. I just didn't know it was a horror movie.
Got it.
No. Yeah. I walked out of the theater and I was like, that's the best thing I've ever seen. Like, that is.
I mean, what the fuck would make you say that?
The beginning all the way through the end.
So when the beginning starts and then it goes and then the credits roll, from that point to that point, that's where you got that opinion from.
Yeah, pretty much. Just the whole movie. No, like, okay, cinematography, lighting, acting, dialogue.
That's too technical for me.
The stuff that happens in the movie, how could you not like that? It's so conniving and insane, the shit that happens in that movie. It's fucking insane.
How is that insane? It's a freeloading family that's being sneaky. I don't understand.
They literally fuck an entire family out of everything, and then it all falls apart and they all die? How's that not? Wow, that's.
The most interesting part was the dude in the basement. Like, that was some fucked up shit.
But I'm saying, to have the fucking thought in your head, like to have the foresight to be like, okay, I'm gonna go get a job. My friend's gonna give me a job, right? And as you're in there, you're looking around and you're like, okay, my family's poor. Basically what it is it's a story about two parts of society, the rich and the poor. And it's showing you how the poor have to use this. And they have to use elbow.
Here's the thing. I know plenty of people like those people.
Like who?
Like that family. I literally know people like them that have done things like that.
I mean, so do I, which is why it's so brilliant, because it's showing you stuff that people don't even think happens, and it absolutely does.
I see it all the time. That's why it wasn't so compelling to me.
I see. I talk to that tell me that shit never would happen ever. I've talked to at least.
I've met people that do shit like that, marry into families just to, and like they sit there and openly talk about how they're going to screw this family over.
That's not the same. These guys, they didn't even. It doesn't matter. I don't want to talk about this movie because I'll talk about it for 5 hours, and we're just going to argue about it because you don't.
No. I'm not arguing about it because I genuinely know that I'm wrong about this. I'm not arguing it.
Wrong. I think it's.
I am wrong. I just don't like it. I am wrong. Here's the thing. I am wrong that it's not a great movie. I'm wrong. I can say that. I would
say that's probably true, but
I can say that to you. I just know that I don't enjoy it, and I will never watch it again, and I have no desire to ever watch it.
I'm a little surprised you've actually watched it, to be honest.
Just because everybody was fucking talking about it.
Yeah. Did you ever watch
if I saw it? I did. I saw it.
You like
it was very slow. It was good, but it wasn't like give me that other Robert Pattinson movie that came out. That fucking
Good
shit
Time?
Was good. Oh my god, I love Good Time.
Bro, The Lighthouse is so much better.
Dude, Good Time was so good.
I literally
check out the music video from Good Time at the very end.
I have
with
a
Iggy Pop
whole Lighthouse poster in my house.
Jesus Christ, that's serious.
I've got 3 copies of it in my collection.
I really don't like what's his name though, and I know I'm in the middle. I don't like him. I know everybody else.
If you don't like him, you would hate The Lighthouse.
I just don't like his fucking face, man.
Oh, I love that guy. He's one of my favorite actors. But
I'm not a fan.
The Lighthouse for me, it wasn't all just the movie. It was everything about it. It was the fact that it was framed really cool. I liked the high contrast black and white. I liked that he was very picky about the dialect that they used. They talked just like they would talk in that time in that part of the world. It was.
Bro, you're a movie nerd. You're a movie nerd.
Yeah,
you're gonna know those things. You're gonna pick up on those things. You're gonna recognize them. And you're gonna appreciate them.
Well, a lot of it, Josh told me. To be honest, I didn't know it going in. I just heard listening to Josh. He told me kind of about the movie. I was like, that sounds cool. I watched it, and the first time I watched it, I was like, I liked it a lot, but I was also a little perplexed. And so when I when I bought it and I put it on I have a big TV here. I got a 75-inch TV, so I was able to put it on a big TV, quiet, and just watch it a couple more times, and I understood it more. And then there's a lot of comedic elements that you won't get it unless you're like the first time you watch it, you have to pay attention to what they're saying.
You got to be hyper focused.
Yeah, once you know what they're talking about and you can pay attention to other things and you can turn the subtitles on and just kind of watch what's going on the screen, you see all the little weird shit that happens. And if you kind of, it is a movie that if you're not a movie person, you have to invest a couple of viewings into this one to really understand it. I can understand. I'm not at all surprised that you're not a big fan of that movie. Parasite, I'm a little more surprised about, but Lighthouse doesn't surprise me.
But this movie I definitely got, and this movie I enjoyed for what it was.
Yeah, I mean,
no doubt.
When I first saw it, though, man, I was not into it, man. I was bummed out because when I first saw it, I was pretty young, and I'd only known Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1. There wasn't a remake at this point yet. It was only the first movie, and there was a couple of movies, I guess, but I only seen the first one. I was fairly young, and then somebody was like, "You should watch this," and they had it on cassette, like VHS. And I watched it at my friend Steven's house, oddly enough. And we're like watching it, right? Dude, 15 minutes in, I was like, dude, turn this garbage fucking shit off, dude. I was like, it was awful, right? And I didn't watch it again for years, dude. I don't think I watched it again until I was like already had kids. Like it's been only a few years ago that I picked it back up and was like, I need to revisit this. And I got it. I was like, oh, I get it. This was supposed to be like this. It was supposed to be terrible. It's not supposed to mimic the first movie. It's supposed to be the polar opposite of the first movie because Tobe Hooper was like, fuck it, I'll do what I want. And
dude, I was sucked in the first minute I see these two kids and they're just like, hook 'em horns, baby, and they're just like, these two are gonna
such pricks, dude.
Oh god. And by the way, not one, this is 1986, right? Not one, but 2 car phones. 2 car phones in this movie. That's
for real though,
sick,
dude. Those guys, I liked those dudes because I knew they were gonna die.
Oh, exactly. I mean, they were built to die. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they were beautiful. I was in, and when I saw that license plate, that's got to be the first time I've seen "fuck you." FAHQ. I mean, anywhere. That's got to be the first time in history that's been on the screen, right?
Wait, what? Oh, on a movie?
Yeah, chronologically.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, fuck you. Like, that was maybe one of the first times anybody's ever even thought about spelling it out phonetically like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the next time I saw it was the paddle in that McConaughey movie. Ben Affleck, McConaughey, it was high school kids.
I don't know.
All right. They stayed the same age.
Yeah,
What
Dazed
the
and
fuck is that movie?
Confused.
Dazed and Confused. The paddle.
I didn't know you read the paddle. I was like, what? Yeah.
It had like that paddle said "fuck you" on it.
Yeah. I forgot about that, dude. That was in the 90s.
Yeah.
I love McConaughey. That's my dude.
Well, yeah, because you're from Texas.
Well, I'm just gay for him. That's all it is.
That's fine. There's definitely worse people to be gay for.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, okay, Texas Chainsaw 2 was a fantastic first half, pretty much a shit house second half.
Yeah. I still got to see Hopper do a chainsaw fight, sword fight. I mean,
that's worth the investment of time.
I thought so.
I'm gonna 100% watch Nothing But Trouble now.
I can't wait to hear what you say about that shit show.
So the next videos that we do, folks, just understand I'm gonna take a little bit of notes. I will try to have a little more information, and I'll try to be less tired. Shit, I'm trying to find out. Amazon has it for rent, so I'm just gonna go ahead and buy it.
Oh, it's not just playing like streaming.
No, it's $2.99. It's not expensive, but I mean, I could probably find a VHS tape for $5. So why would I just buy it?
Yeah. My account is, I don't even know whose account my Amazon Prime is, so I can't buy anything. Did you watch Invincible?
No. I just don't care about it.
I didn't care about it either until I watched it, and I was like, now I care.
I've heard awesome things about it, but I've also got a list a mile long of movies I want to watch, and I'd rather watch a movie than a show. You know what it is? I don't like shows. I just don't like them. I never have.
Yeah, I hear you. It's probably the most brutal thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's a bold statement.
It really is. It's brutal, and it's like not just brutal because I'm watching like gore and people getting punched and destroyed. I just the actual context of what the brutality meant and what it was.
Well, I watched the first episode, and the end of it, I was like, oh wow. Like
yeah, that's the twist, and then of course, that's the rest of the show is trying to figure out what the fuck was that motivation for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But dude, that last episode, I've never seen a season finale like that. Ever.
Okay, well now I kind of want to go watch it.
Just give it I'm not here to blow its dick and tell you to fucking, oh, you got to, oh, motherfucker, what the fuck are you doing with your life? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you can, pop it on in the background, see what you think.
I mean, I prefer if you blow its dick so I can watch. I'm just saying, bud.
Oh
shit.
Boy.
So we're gonna watch Nothing But Trouble and Texas Chainsaw 1. And we're gonna talk about those.
Watching that movie.
You're
gonna be so mad, bro.
Okay. I don't think so. I'll tell you what. Since we're in a second, let's wrap this up, and then while we're still on the call together, I'll watch the trailer real quick.
Can we look up I just want to look up to see what the score is, the Rotten Tomato Metascore.
I hope it's 1. That means I'm probably gonna like it.
10 stars, says Punk Rock Dad.
Let's see here. 13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I told you you're gonna be so mad, dude.
13% on Metacritic.
I told you, bro. I told you you're gonna be so mad.
So it says, while attempting to seduce gorgeous lawyer Diane Lightson, wealthy gadabout? What is that? Wealthy gadabout Chris Thorne agrees to drive her to Atlantic City, but when some reckless driving draws the attention of a deeply critical cop, they and the flamboyant Brazilianaires who tagged along end up in the court of a grotesque and vengeful judge who has a special vendetta against the wealthy and the arid. What? Yeah, this sounds amazing.
Listen. There's one sentence. This is all you need to hear. A businessman and his friends are captured by a sadistic judge and equally odd family in the backwoods of a bizarre mansion. That's it.
I'm in.
That's all you need to know.
Dude, the cast, I don't know how accurate this is, but the cast has got Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, John Candy, Demi Moore, and Tupac Shakur.
Bro, Tupac I didn't know about.
You should have seen your face, dude. I'm telling you, bro, I don't understand that at all.
I think somebody just threw that one in at the end, unless he was just a child or something. I don't fucking know. Oh, yeah. Because Digital Underground's in it.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, Well, yeah, I'm 150% buying this movie, and I'm going to watch it more than once, and you're going to get all kinds of shocked when I go, I thought it was brilliant.
Oh, Shock G's in it. Rest in peace.
Oh, man. Okay, hold on. Let's, dude, I can't wait for this, dude.
Bro, it's a complete fucking shit show. You're gonna be very upset. Dude, Daniel Baldwin.
I love
You're gonna be very upset. Dude, Brian Doyle Murray.
It's so bad it's free on YouTube.
Dude, you're gonna be so mad.
I'm watching this shit tonight.
You better. I gotta go to bed, but you better text me a reaction.
Awesome, dude. Well, hey, let's grade Texas Chainsaw 2 real quick, and I'll let you get out here. And we'll do another podcast here in a few weeks with these two flicks. We can make this the way we get to hang out. It's kind of nice.
Hey, I'm loving it. If nobody watches or nobody cares, obviously to me, no skin off my teeth. I get to hang out with you. So
I don't care either, man. I get to do this and hang out with my friends. So that's what matters to me. But that's what makes it so much more enjoyable than people realize, is that we're actually friends and people can tell. So they're gonna like watching it.
Awesome.
This is background music podcast, man. It's good stuff.
I love it. I'm gonna have to give it an 8.
Yeah?
Just because the strength of how much I love Dennis Hopper's character. How the first half to me was a very, very well done horror movie.
I agree with that.
Nice build up, nice suspense. The scene where they show up at the record company is by far the superior horror scene in this.
Yeah, I guess
compared to
really crazy, loud.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The scene where Leatherface finally shows up. I mean, the build up there of him talking, Chop Top talking to her, dressed up, with the wig on and everything. It's pretty suspenseful because
I think it gets better with age too. I think that the first half of the movie, I think as time goes on, it's going to be more and more appreciated because it is good.
Yeah.
People just expected A and they got B out of it and they just weren't ready for it. And when I watched it the first time, that's what it was. Is I was expecting this, I got this, and I was like, what? And I had to go revisit it. I mean, that happens a lot with music for me too.
Yeah.
I'll go listen to a song and then I'm like, that was awful. And then like a week later, I'm like, I'm thinking about it. I'll go back and listen to it again. I'm like, that wasn't so bad. Before you know it, it's on my playlist. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I know that you're disappointed that I didn't see the first one, but I swear to God, for my personal enjoyment, I'm so glad I'm watching them in this order.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little disappointed because I want you to understand why it was impactful to me. It's really a selfish reason. I hope you enjoy it. I'm a little worried, to be honest, because it is not at all like the one.
No, sure.
Sure. It's the only movie from that era that still scares me a little bit. Like, still gets me like to where if I watch it late at night by myself, I'm gonna have bad dreams.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that style movie, but I feel like I have to watch it.
You may not be scared by it at all, but especially since you're not a big horror guy.
I'm not really scared, just disgusted.
Have you never saw the remake either, did you?
Nothing.
Because the remake's a pretty good rendition of the original.
Pretty
yeah,
brutal.
I'm excited to see what you feel about it. Well, my grade for it would be 7.5, just like the other movie, but it's only because the second half was so bad. I think that I would have given it probably a 9 if the second half was even half as good as the first half.
Agreed.
But, well, that's...
Yeah, man.
It's been a blast talking to you, Steven. Thank you so much for your time, my man. Yeah.
Always a pleasure to hang out with you, Randall. I know that you're a busy man and you do a lot of content and you've got obviously a large family. But you spending a couple hours bullshitting with me here tonight means everything to me. So
hell yeah, dude! I look forward to this like you wouldn't believe, my man.
I would believe it because I also look forward to this.
Fuck yeah. Well, I'll talk to you in the next couple of days by text, and we'll figure out when we can do this other one. I'm not in a big hurry. We're pretty flexible with our time, so we'll schedule it in a few weeks. Give us enough time to sit and enjoy the movie, and not have to rush through it.
Agreed, man. And congratulations again on the other page, the 10,000 subscribers.
Dude, for
sure.
It's a wild ride that I'm on. But thank you for your time, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. We'll be back with some more horror movie talk here real soon. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Fuck off. Peace. I don't even know why I said that, bro.
It's so good.